Okay, so we've got a fish tank here, about a 37-gallon mini reef aquarium. It's missing most of the invertebrates. It's got some snails and hermit crabs. And today we're going to be opening up a box of freshly ordered zoanthids, some invertebrates purchased on eBay. So I'll walk you through the process of opening the box and putting them in the tank, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, it's a pretty cool box, very professional looking. Company's called Reefaholic. And I'll tell you what, it was a very prompt and efficient delivery. Let's see how
Very
this
cool.
goes here.
So I've taken off the packing slip, opened up the box carefully with my trusty knife to make sure I didn't split any of the packaging, and check out this cool professional packaging. Not sure what to call those. And we have some handy and dandy instructions. So I'm going to take a minute to read the instructions to make sure I do this correctly, and we'll see what kind of nifty things we've got in here. Ooh, looking cool. Very cool. Alright, so we've opened up the package, and it looks like a fairly well-sealed container with hopefully my cool new critters in there. The instructions clearly state that temperature is important, so we want to make sure that we adjust these properly. And Reefaholic here also mentions that the source specific gravity, the salinity of the salt water, is 1.025, so we're quickly going to test our salinity to make sure it's pretty close, or hopefully matches exactly. My experience has been it doesn't have to match exactly for zoanthids, but to meet the guarantee requirements for Reefaholic, we should probably make sure it's pretty close. So we're going to check out how to do the salinity. So we have a little tool here. It's called a hydrometer. This one's from Instant Ocean. It's kind of a rudimentary one, but it works. Make sure you rinse it and wash it properly. And, oh no, we have no salinity in our fish tank. How are the fish thriving? It's because it's stuck. Hold on a sec. I don't want to drop my phone in the... There it goes. I had to break it free. It was stuck under there. And we can see ours comes in at, holy cow, look at that, 1.025. We'd even make Reefaholic proud here on our target salinity for these creatures. So now we're going to go and put them in, and I'm going to turn out the light here so that they don't get blinded, and we're going to adjust them to the fish tank. So here, take a minute and get a check on it. That's where we're going in. So we've got a 250 watt metal halide with, I don't know how many watts they are, but a couple of power compact actinics in there too. Okay, so I opened up the bag, and I have to say this is one of the most professionally sealed deliveries of invertebrates in my 20 years in the business that I have ever seen. Notice it was even heat sealed. Pretty cool. We have individual sealed packages with all of our critters, and they're labeled. It's kind of hard to read the labels, but we'll figure it out once we get them in there. To me, I'm not really that interested in which one's which. I'm more interested in how we're going to place them in the tank. So the next step is to try to adjust the temperature in the fish tank. And so we're going to turn out the light on the fish tank and float these guys for just a few minutes. Since the volume of the bags is really low, it'll only take a couple of minutes for them to come up to temperature. Hopefully the bags are clean and weren't, in some kind of insecticide, but we'll trust Reefaholic here. Alright, so we've floated the little baggies in the fish tank. You'll notice that the light has been turned off. We don't want to blast them with too much light or cook them. You can see them kind of floating around in there. I did take the opportunity to use a little rinse bowl to rinse off the little baggies before I put them in the tank, just in case. Not that's going to do a whole lot of good, but it makes me feel better. If one was really concerned about, the acclimation of the animals, it would be appropriate to use a smaller vessel, possibly one unique container for each unique coral, and to make sure they're covered in their source water and then do a slow drip acclimation. But considering these zoanthids and the star polyps are pretty hardy, I'm not really concerned with doing that, and they've only been in transit for less than a day, so they should have no problem acclimating kind of the standard float in the bag and drop in the tank kind of method. I would also normally recommend quarantining your animals for a significant period of time, probably 30 days, but I don't have quarantine set up as an option, but it's always best to quarantine, and so we are definitely breaking that rule at this point. So now that we've acclimated them for about 20 minutes, they should be about the same temperature now. I'm pulling the little baggies out of the aquarium and using a pair of scissors, opening the baggies, and we will discard the shipping water because it'll be kind of dirty, and we'll just kind of shake off the little guys, and then we'll stick them in the tank. And so here you can see we have the little baggies floating around. We'll grab one of the little baggies. He look cool. And we'll throw him in the bucket, and then we'll chop him open and we'll put him in. Be back in a second. So you can see the little zoanthids, they ship pretty well. The C buttons, they zip up pretty nicely. So we'll go ahead and place these in the tank. We'll leave them in the tank for a little bit, not necessarily where we want to put them, but we want to let them acclimate a little bit so we can see what their shapes are and their colors are, and then we'll figure out where we actually want to place them. So I'm just going to take this little guy. Don't want to get stung by your fox-faced rabbitfish. They have a pretty nasty sting. And we'll just set these guys over here for now. These guys aren't too toxic, so we'll just set them right there. They'll be fine for a little bit. Let them acclimate for, probably the rest of the day, and then I'll figure out where I want to put them. Okay, so we've emptied the dirty water into the bucket, and we put the invertebrates in the tank. And I just kind of placed them haphazardly in the tank for now. Notice I put them a little bit low in the tank. I have a fairly strong metal halide, and as we adjust them, we don't want to burn them or cook them up when we cook the light back on. And so we'll let them adjust in the dark here for a little bit, and then we'll turn the lights on, and we'll see how they look. And these guys should probably open up in the next hour or so, and we can get a look and see what they actually look like. It should be cool. Make sure you clean up your mess on your floor and your chair, otherwise family members will either slip or complain. Alright, so it's been about 10 or 15 minutes or so, and these guys look so good, I went ahead and cranked the lights on anyway. Normally I'd let them rest a little bit longer, but for the purpose of the video and the fact that I just couldn't wait any longer, I had to turn the lights on anyway. So what we've done now is we've completely acclimated the 5 pieces. These 5 invertebrates came from Reefaholic. I think the average price with shipping came out to about $20 a piece, so it's comparable with local retail, and looks like a much better product than you get at the local fish stores. I'm pretty pleased with the size, the color, the shape, and the quality of the products, not to mention the shipping and the packaging. So we'll take a couple quick looks at each of the pieces. As you can see, they're already starting to open up, and they're looking pretty good, and hopefully they will thrive for years to come. Anyways, only in Idaho. Enjoy. And that's Nemo and Hercules, and Herb, the ginseng musician.